The more things change, the more they stay the same. Anyway, here's a patch review. Let's go through this quickly. We have active testing modes, Bomb Rush, a new game type, 12v12 now. It's basically many flags, dump it in. It's an amalgam of everything we've suggested in a casual mode, and it's not quite there yet, but it's a rushed first attempt. Then we have time trials, training, custom matches, loadout. So really important, what has changed? Heavy armor has been reduced from 2,500 to 2,250. Its max energy has also been reduced, and light armor has stolen that energy. Now, I don't know if changing energy is the thing. I mean, everything has been more powerful, surely and certainly, but maybe just increase the weight and start playing with that. But I don't know if the physics are in a spot to do that. I will say, however, I will summarize at the end of this. So we're just going to go through. Apparently there was a thing called a direct hit multiplier, and those have been changed pretty much across the board. Why do those exist? There are basically two types of connections or of damage types in Tribes Ascent. In Tribes 3, either you hit them or you don't, you splash them or you don't, right? Why is this even a thing? To boost up the numbers? Right now we are still stuck with variable damage numbers, by the way, which is also in a competitive shooter. Random damage is a very, very, very bad thing. Don't do that. Now, get rid of this and rebalance the weapons like they are in the tooltip. Right now, if I have to explain to a new player, if I have to use 3 steps to explain how damage works in this game, we're doing bad, okay? The tooltip damage never happens. It's always with the direct hit multiplier, or the splash will never equate to the full damage on the tooltip. This is confusing. This is making things difficult. Let's try with a flat damage. Or explain, because that's going to be the common theme here. Explain, communicate why this is even a thing. Why? Okay, the one thing, so I will now state as well, I'm just gonna go over, these are all the same thing, there's a few things here and there, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. Functionally, no breakpoint has been changed by this. Okay? The heavy receives less damage, has less health. Everybody receives a little less damage from direct hits. So no breakpoints have changed. The light still needs to hit the heavy 4 times if it's on full health, which is one of the bigger problems with this whole balance shebang. Sure, you'll have a little less chain chaff to run through, but again, if you balance around direct hits and the average damages that people get, this is not going to change anything because this only functions on direct hits, right? So it's functionally, it'll buffer you a little bit. You will have a bit more staying power to get chained out, but that's it. The only big change is the heavy bolt launcher, which was one-hitting lights always, doing about apparently had a direct hit multiplier of 1,000 of 1.5, because obviously a arcing projectile is harder to hit with, right? So we beefed that one up. Right now, with the damage and the direct hit multiplier reduced, lights will have, I calculated it here, they'll have about 70 health left, a little less than 70 health. That's good because the Storm Slicer got reduced from 70 to 60, so that's one more bullet. There's direct hit, I don't know why. Anyway, then there is a lot of damage changes to non-player damage, so the generator will be up a little bit more. Great. None of this matters. Maglev disc renamed. Great. Love it. Then survivalist and the health perks, the health nuggets, they have been changed. So it's now survivalist 2,000 health over time, which is basically full health for the heavy, full health for everybody else. And the nugget now standardly does, I don't know where it's in here, but the nugget now does 1,000. So light will always full heal on a nugget. A medium will have 3/4, and 3/4, 2/3, should I say, and a heavy will have about half, less than half. Good, so that reduces the heavy, their situation a little bit. Okay. Refined jetpack physics to allow more control, especially for feathering while moving at high speeds. That's good. I think in terms of movement, things have been improving, but more on that later. The ski toggles, great, that's fine. Fix issue where players jittery while moving. Apparently that is still happening, however. There's still some weirdness around going down slopes. And I think with the collision problems down below, this might have something to do with that, but I don't know how they're dealing with terrain right now, if they are using the Unreal Engine landscaping or if they're using meshes. I don't know what the resolutions are, because I know there's sometimes a lot of problems can pop up with that, but we're guessing because we don't know. So Bomb Rush, yeah, I'm not going to focus too much on this because I don't have much time to record this actually, but there you are. You have bombs across the map, you place them in a thing, you have to go through the thing, you can't throw yet, and you score points. This is a many flag CTF, like something I've suggested. I mean, everybody's suggested something like this, the Unreal Tournament one, this, you know, many things like it, needs refining, not too much there. Custom matches, island map removed, huzzah, one step in the right direction, because here we are, Dangerous Crossing. This is the Tribes 2 version of Dangerous Crossing that's been added. So far I've seen, in my opinion, my experiences with Tribes 1 and with the Tribes Ascend one, I feel that this one looks rather small in the bowl because it's the larger map, because there's a lot of terrain outside of it, which this is it. This is the height map. You can see the pit in the middle. This is the actual Tribes 2 height map, the pit in the middle, and there's a whole lot of map outside that nobody even knows exists, but this is one-to-one actually put in here. We can look at it this way as well. So there you are. So you have your two bases. This is not mirrored, of course. The X is not mirrored, but there you are. So there's a lot of bollocks around the map that nobody ever uses, but technically this is now the biggest map, even though it's very small, very fast. One of my issues, should I say, that I've seen, because I've watched a couple of VODs already over the day, I think now that this is the first proper Tribes map, this is the map they should have had from the start. Every single Tribes project, be it official or unofficial, has had the DX as a starting point because it is such a staple. It is the Dust 2, the Lost Temple of this game. And I think right now, that's gonna show maybe some of the issues with the movement, that it's maybe a little too effortless now, because the scaling is different, the speed you are getting is different. I think a lot of training wheels have been put on the physics because of the flat terrains that we've had. And please bring more. If you're not going to do modernizing, if you're not going to try and find a new archetype, then use the old ones, because they'll work. They'll be fine. Now I will also note that there's some bugs, you fall through the map and stuff. Yeah, collision problems, there's no kill floor. At least if you can't fix the collision issues, hotfix a kill floor so people don't have to restart the game when playing the map, you know? But I don't care about the bugs that are in the game right now, because I know this is an alpha, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So yes, I'm happy about Dangerous Crossing, of course, but I feel personally that for a new Tribes game called Tribes 3, you could advance upon the old maps, but the old maps are fine, they're legendary for a reason, and that's where we should have started. So, partial credit, if I have to say it very arrogantly. I understand that I'm becoming more and more arrogant because of one of the points that I want to talk about in the end of this video. Bomb rush game, so it's a thing. Players now return to the original custom lobby. That's great, so we don't have to constantly re-up the lobby, which is fine for casual stuff and even for pugs. Amazing. And look at the new regions. The rest of the world is here. Huzzah, now the Aussies can be merry. Captures increased back to 5. Again, I think we should just do 15 minutes and whatever the score is with some overtime. 5 is great. It's better than 3. Health nuggets. So here's the health nuggets. So 1,000 health overtime instead of 50%. So the lights are buffed by this. You still need to go look for the nuggy though, right? And survivalist now is completely pointless on lights, which is good. Oh no, generator health reduced. You reduced all the damage the weapons do and then reduced the generator health. I'm sure there's a breakpoint there. I don't really care about it. Temporary shields are now shown on the player health bar. That is great. Loading screens. Game is now saved. Players can now auto pass bombs and flags if they are within 15 meters of their teammates. Okay. I don't really care about anyone else's opinion. I'm just going to state mine. I'm not going to be courteous about this. The bombs I don't care because it's casual mode, right? And it's already being used to grief people. Flag passing is one of the core dividing points, thresholds of skill in this game. The kind of shenanigans that better players are going to be able to do with this within a month, within a week, within 2 days is incredible. High-speed rabbiting passes in midair flawlessly. It is a convenience for a casual player. It is a frightening thing for high-end competition and esports. This will trivialize one of the most important learned things that a team can do, which is flag passing. It is the pinnacle of this game, and I'm very afraid that it's become trivial. Even if it's only 15 meters, that's even better. You just have to high-five people. It's not that hard, especially not on the simple maps we have right now. You don't even have to... You can just scoot... You don't have to plan your approach. You can just scoot past the Hoth and it'll auto cap. I don't know where this came from. Is it from... Explain yourself. Where did this come from? From what level of play did this arrive? Fixes. Falling through the terrain. So again, collision things, collision ticks. I know about these things. Ask me about these things. I want to know how your terrain works so I can help. Because this has been a thing for the entire duration of the playtest saga. Fix an issue where players would sometimes cycle back into a custom match, blah blah blah. Going B, voice chat. Yeah, the voice chat is a thing, but shadow buffering. Fix an issue with buffering of full auto weapons. That is great. Repair tool would not show HP in training. Okay, that's hopefully a single line fix for someone. Mutators. No, okay. So what's going on, guys? I don't care about the bugs being in the playtest. This is a playtest. This is still an alpha. We still believe that this is an alpha. Okay? And early access also doesn't mean that the alpha needs to stop. Can we talk about communication? Can we talk about the processes that happened before this patch is created? Can we see a roadmap? Can we see, again, I did this in the last video, but this is starting to become very apparent. You are crunching. You are under a pressure. You are rushing things out. Priorities are a little everywhere. If we are to assume there's 40 people working. All of them had different things. You have your mappers, you have your system designers. Not everybody's working on everything. I hope most people realize that. But where is the iterative development overlapping, and what is going on? What are the milestones? I'm not asking for your Trello boards, at least asking for some elaboration. And it is very great that Ares is around the Discord and some of the chats of the live streams, but it is immensely frustrating if core information for the future of this game has to be plucked, scattered around, and we have to scurry about to find it. If things are set in stone, tell them to us so we can prepare accordingly. It is an awful thing for the people organizing the draft to not even know if we're gonna have a spectator mode or not. If not, we have to prepare for it. People are now actively asking, maybe we should postpone, maybe we shouldn't do this yet. Can you imagine what kind of pressure that puts on people? For me as well. I want to cast this game. I want to do this. But I'm just sitting on a big question mark here. This is not a strange thing to ask. Even if things aren't set in stone, even if things are maybes on the horizons, at least put them on a list so some of the anxiety can be reduced. For instance, I will say this. Again, it's been a month since I made my mapping video. Dangerous Crossing doesn't count. Dangerous Crossing is a shoo-in. Dangerous Crossing should have been here. But if you guys are working on new methods of map making, building a new map with those designs in mind, say something so I don't have to be driven insane and start becoming more and more aggravated, frustrated, and things are starting to look like the old Hyres forums again. I think what I ask isn't impossible, even with a corporate mindset or the mindset of a AAA developer. Again, I think we can speak like adults here, right? This is not teacher and student here. So yeah, we'll see if this playtest gets extended, maybe not. If that's the case, then I'm not going to be able to make any content for this one, which is a shame because of Dangerous Crossing. Always nice, might have been fun. But yeah, so my one wish is communication, and if we can get a list of changes being worked on, or things being worked on, things that will make it into the next patch, so we know what's happening with the draft tournament. Because otherwise, let's call it a dress rehearsal and, get our footing and do the real tournament later. That's it, really. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.